Hello everybody and welcome to SA Sociology Hub, where we break down sociological ideas in a way that makes sense for everyday life. My name is Thandeka Sibanyoni and I am your host. In today's video, we're talking about a true legend in sociology, Emile Durkheim. I'm saying he's a true legend because he was the first professor in sociology, a first professor of sociology, and he also studied society and helped explain why things are the way they are today. So let's jump right into it. Who is Emile Durkheim? He was born in 1858 in France, and he is one of the academic founders of sociology. So the others were theorizing, right, and just writing and putting in their work. But Emile Durkheim was an actual scholar of sociology. He believed that society is more than just a group of individuals. It's a system with rules, with values, and institutions that shape how we live. So let's dive into what he did. For example, social facts. Have you ever felt like society controls you in a way that, man, you don't even understand? And that's what Durkheim called social facts. The invisible forces like laws, traditions, expectations that influence our actions. For example, why do we all stop at when the robot is red? That's because it's the law, right? We don't just cross the road wherever. Or why do we wear black at a funeral and white at a wedding, or bright colors at a wedding instead of, doing the opposite? That's because society has conditioned us to follow certain rules. And so it's not a bad thing to have rules. It's very important to have rules because without rules, you don't know we won't be able to know how to do things, right? How to live communally as a society. The second important thing to note about Durkheim is how he studied the division of labor in society. So Durkheim studied how societies have evolved from simple to traditional communities to complex modern societies. And so, for example, he divides the society into two types of social bonds. So the first bond that Durkheim argues that is there in a simple society is mechanical solidarity. And this means that in a small traditional society where people are farmers, for example, because they are connected because they share a similar life, like I'm saying in rural villages where everyone is a farmer. The second form of solidarity is organic solidarity, which takes place in complex societies. So think about our society today. We're not preparing our food and teaching our kids and making the medicine all at once, right? You do a certain job and you're relying on someone else to help you in the community. And so our connectedness is based on dependency than it is on sharing the same life. The third thing that Durkheim studied was suicide, and this was one of his most famous, it still is one of his most famous work. And he studies how suicide is in fact influenced by social factors. It's not an individual's choosing to just say, okay, I just want to die now, right? And so he found 4 types of suicide in society. The first one is egoistic suicide, altruistic suicide, anomic, and fatalistic. And I'll break these down. For example, the first one is egoistic society, where someone feels isolated from society. You are living in this world, you have a family, and you still feel like you're lonely and you do not have support. And so that individual will then decide to kill themselves because they feel alone. right? So it's how a person, an individual, relates to society, right, that would cause them to commit suicide. The second form of suicide is altruistic suicide, where someone is too involved or too integrated into society. For example, a religious member or a cult member that would offer themselves up as a sacrifice, to their gods, or yes, or something like that. Or another one that would say there's too much evil, or people are heathens, so let me bomb myself and kill all these evil people. So the altruistic one is because you're so integrated into whatever that you believe in, or into the society, into your society, that you would rather die for the sake of society. The third one is anomic, where the society is unstable or in crisis. For example, if there's economic collapse or so much instability or crisis that you end up just wanting to leave this world, right? The last one is fatalistic, and it's when people feel overly controlled. For example, prisoners or people in oppressive situations. The last point from Durkheim is the role of religion in society. And Durkheim argues that religion is more than just a belief in a higher power. He argues that it's a way for people to come together and create shared identity. So, for example, if you're a church member, or you go to a mosque, or just knowing that you are part of a certain society, or a football team, for example. I mean, football is also one of the biggest religions in the world. Whether we like it or not, it is a form of religion. So, for example, being part of a group creates unity, and it will give you a sense of belonging. So, religion is not all about control and whatever, like an opium of the poor, like Marx argues. It actually gives people a form of unity and belonging. Why is Durkheim important today? I think his work helps us explain social issues, inequality, and mental health. And this is one of the biggest, especially in our society today. So if you want to understand mental health more, please dive deeper into Durkheim's work. And then social facts, like these laws that I explained earlier, they still influence us. We are, yes, we are human beings, we're conscious beings, but there are laws and rules that govern how we do life on a daily, and we don't talk about them, but we know they're there, right? And so, for example, look at how we use social media every day, and it is used to give us, or it creates unspoken rules about what is normal and what is not normal, and this is something that's different from the time when people were not using social media. And yeah, that's it. So what are your thoughts? Do you see Durkheim's work panning out in our society today? Please drop your thoughts in the comment section below. And if you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like, to share, and to subscribe if you haven't done so already. Be part of the Hub Collective. All right, thank you so much. I hope you have enjoyed this video. We will see you again in the next video. Bye.